Hello, guys, and welcome back to episode 7 of my Chelsea save. We are doing this just before FM20 comes out, just to get a feel for doing some videos. It's my first time at it, so any comments that you may have will be greatly appreciated. So, we're going to start this month with a look back at how we got on in January. So, looking at the team stats at the moment, we're now on to 24 games played. We are top of the league, as we can see over here. We are 6 points clear of our closest rivals and do have a game in hand on them. We're the third highest for scoring goals in the league, and we've got the second best defence in the league. We have now had a red card. We were trying to avoid those, but it's the way it's gone. Higuain is still our leading goal scorer with 23 goals this season now. He's also got the highest average rating for us at 7.50. Zappacosta down the right hand side as the right wing back has been the most productive as far as assists have gone. Best pass completion, Cabrera in goal when he's played. Memphis Depay getting in those man of the match awards, proving his worth in repaying the faith that I had in laying out, was it 45 million I brought him in for? Yeah, laid out 45 million for him, and he's been really repaying that faith. So there's a couple of things to quickly go over before we go any further. Emerson, a player that we've been talking about injuries this season, he managed to pick up yet another injury. There it was. We had a pulled calf muscle. Let's have a look. That's a little while ago, I think. I'm sure he had an injury again that has wound me up. Yeah, so he took 3 weeks out through the month of January with a twisted ankle again. So there's 2 twisted ankles he's had. That one was his right, the other one was his right, and the calf was on his left. So a little bit of a worry that he seems to be picking up injuries at the moment. I have said before, we've got players at the club. Well, they're out on loan at the minute, but they are at the club, so to speak, who can step in for him. And I think they probably will be if he doesn't start picking up his fitness. Although I do feel that he is the best left back at the club. Who do we have playing as a left back at the moment against him? I can't remember. I think it's Alonso in it. So between the two, we've got Alonso there in the blue and Emerson in the green. Let's just put them up against each other statistically, and as you can see, he does seem to be outperforming Alonso this season. It's just a shame he can't stay fit. What else has happened this month that you need to know about? Oh, Jorginho has started getting the hump. He is feeling that he's not getting enough time in the first team, but I can't understand where he's coming from. He's got 13 games out of a possible 20, so he's playing in over half the games, yet it's still not enough for him. So if he don't start changing his attitude, he might find himself well on the outside and potentially leaving. We've also got the transfers from this month, so transfer roundup. Let's have a look if we've made any more signings that you need to know about. So we've not made any signings. We obviously let Barkley go at the start of the season, which we knew about. But Willian left on the 31st, so a couple of days ago. We let him go on loan to Real Madrid, and I do believe within that loan contract, I've put in an future fee if he plays a certain amount of games. So after 5 matches, 42 million he'll be going for. A bit less than what he's actually rated at, but he wants out of the club. I put him up as listed no one came in for him. I couldn't get anywhere near this sort of thick figure coming in for him. So I thought this was the best way about doing it. We can get him out. He'll play a few games for Madrid. Madrid will be pulled into actually paying for him, and we'll get some money at the end of the season. But that's all that's happened in the transfer window. We haven't brought anyone in. There's no future deals coming in, I don't believe. No. And there's 2 future players going to be leaving at the end of the season. No one that's really got anything that's going to be hard to us. I mean, he looks like he could become a really good midfielder. He's got some really good stats up this part, but we don't use ball-winning midfielder. Box-to-box would be the closest. And, yeah, he's not good enough to play that box-to-box role. There's quite a few of them that are still in the single digits, so won't be unhappy to see him go. So let's take a look at the dynamics for the season so far. So we've got very good team cohesion there. The team's collective mental state has seen an improvement. And let's have a look at the dressing room atmosphere. We're at the top of what it can be now. Excellent. We're on a run of 5 games, straight wins. We've got 3 players who are currently unhappy. So the unhappy players, we've got Pedro, we've got Danny Drinkwater, and obviously Jorginho. I don't know why it's saying 3, because there's actually 4 showing up down here. So Pedro, disappointed not to be able to join Atletico Madrid. They came in with an offer. It was a ridiculous offer. What's his value? 28. From what I can remember, I think the offer was around about the £13 million mark. There was no way I was letting him go for £13 million. And then we've got managerial support in the excellent still. There's no major worries for any of them there. So that's all good. So let's have a look at what we've been doing this month in our fixtures. And as you can see, there's been a lot of fixtures in January. Dancing up and down here. So we started out with Brighton in the league. We got a 3-1 win over Brighton, even with Cahill sent off on the 13th minute. We played the majority of that game with 10 men. It was always a game we should have been winning, and we put it to bed fairly easy. We then went to had Blackpool visit us. Cahill wasn't punished for getting sent off in the last game, cup game. Went with our normal cup team: Caballero in goal, Afro-Equator, Ampadu, Louise, Emerson, Loftus-Cheek, Giroud, Pedro, Willian, Jorginho, Cahill, Drinkwater and Hazard all in the team there. Just a straightforward 2-0 win, nice and easy. Then come the first leg of the Carabao Cup. This saw a 4-2 victory over Norwich. Cahill always in... I don't know what it is with him. Gets himself sent off, scores a goal, scores an own goal. It's like he doesn't know what he wants to do. But again, this was a really weird game. We went 2-0 down. Then they had a player sent off. And then we found our way back into it. Let's have a look at the actual game itself and the stats. So, as you can see, the team we lined up with: Caballero in goal, Afro-Equator at right back, Rudiger, Cahill, Ampadu across the centre, and Emerson at left back. Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho in the middle. And then we went with Willian, Pedro and Giroud up front. And I'm surprised at the way this game went. We weren't doing nothing until they had their man sent off. It was a poor performance. And then once they had their man sent off, they decided, we want to play now. We'll start playing, and really took Norwich to the sword. And I felt a little bit sorry for Norwich to have that player sent off. But at that point, it was 2-1. We'd already pulled one back. But William went on and got himself a hat-trick at the end of that game. Next up was Wolves. We went to the Black Country to see Wolves. As you can see there, an easy 2-1 win there. Hazard give us the lead. Higuain backed it up, and in between that, Montinho did score a penalty to give him a bit of a lifeline with the equaliser. But at the end of the day, we got the win. And if we just have a quick look here, we've got Afro-Equator, Rudiger, Christensen, David Luiz and Alonso across the back, Kovacic and Kante in the middle, Depay, Hazard and Higuain up front. Back to our normal setup, and it's paid off. Although it was not an easy game by the looks of it. In fact, I'd say Wolves were probably unlucky not to get a draw out of this game. So let's go back to the next game we played. Southampton were the next visitors to Stamford Bridge, and this was a game that we just went out and showed them who were the better team. Let's move on to show you our lineup today. So we started with Kepa in goal, backline of Alonso, David Luiz, Christensen, Rudiger, Zabacosta, Kante and Kovacic in the middle, and Giroud played alongside Hazard and Depay up front. And as you can see, we did dominate this game. 24 shots to their 11. We've got the clear-cut chances 2, 4 half chances to their 1. The possession, they did have the majority of the possession. I do find that the more goals you score, the more you're giving them possession, but I can deal with that. And average rating of 7.91 for us, where they got 6.48, a really poor average rating for their side. And the return of Barkley for coming back to Stamford Bridge to say hello didn't really go well for him. How is he getting on there since his £30 million move? So we sold him off. I decided he wasn't going to fit into our system. Seems to be having an alright season, an average season for being at Southampton. I mean, as far as I could see, the positions we play in here, deep line playmaker is his best position, and he wasn't gonna force his way into the team there. I mean, my second player for that position is Loftus-Cheek. It's a future investment by having Loftus-Cheek there, but I feel Loftus-Cheek's already well on par with him. If not, possibly you'd say better than Ross Barkley. So that's why I made that move. And if we just have a look, Giroud on the score sheet twice there. I want him to be doing this because I want him to put his name about, because I am going to get rid of him at the end of the season regardless. He could go on and score 40 goals now in the rest of the season. He will be leaving. He's not in my plans. So up next, return leg, Norwich. So Norwich visited Stamford Bridge. We just put this one away, nice and easy, straight 2-0 win. No problems at all there. FA Cup 4th round. We visited, had Wigan visit us, and we picked up a 7-2 win. This really was a drumming over Wigan. And if we take a look at how we set up, so we started with Cabaret in goal, Alonso, Luiz, Christensen, Ampadu and Afro-Equator across the back, Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek in the middle, and Giroud, Hudson-Odoi and Pedro up front. So really is a mixed up team there. The only two normal players in there are David Luiz and Christensen. Everyone else is what we'd call our backup side. And look at Walton there. He's really had a poor game, 5.4. Yeah, he's conceded 7 goals, but it looks like they're down to him because his defence and midfield haven't had a massively poor game. And as you can see from here, clear-cut chances 3, half chances 2, average rating 8.5 for us, 6.41 for Wigan. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. And this is nice, all different people scoring goals. When you can get goals from anywhere on the pitch, it's always a good thing. And our final game of the campaign in January was a away game to Watford. We visited Vicarage Road. We wanted to make sure we could put ourselves them 5 points clear that we have done. And we did fall behind in this game. But Eden Hazard, our go-to man, come out on top. And as you can see from there, 2-1 win. So let's take a look at the competitions and how that leaves us at the moment. So we've got the Premier League there. Like I said before, we're leading the league now, 6 points clear. Correct myself from just now, where I said 5 points. We are 6 points clear of Manchester United and do have a game in hand. Looking at it, it's going to be either Manchester United or Liverpool that challenge us for the league by the looks of it. Arsenal and Man City have already fallen away, 12 points behind us, and then Tottenham a further 3 from that. So Man United, Liverpool are going to be the games to watch out for. If we have just a quick look at the player stats, Higuain has been overtaken again by Aubameyang as the top goal scorer in the league. Memphis Depay has the most man of the match awards, and that is it as far as the stats go in this competition. The Euro Cup, we've already said that we've drew Spartak Moscow, so that's not a major surprise there. Next game in the FA Cup will see us take on Rotherham, who are sitting rock bottom of the Championship. Just 2 wins out of 30 games. That should be no problem getting past those. If there is, we've got a serious problem there. And we've pulled Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final. Let's just have a look at the Carabao Cup and how the stages have looked up to now. So Arsenal 1-1. They got 4-0 win over Southampton in the first. So no one really in there either with any of the stats for us. But that's it for now, guys. You've seen how we've got on in January. Hopefully you'll be back for February. And we'll see how we get on. That's it for now. Thank you very much. Goodbye.